Doing it. Doing it. Doing it. Doing it. Doing it. Doing it.
Hello, my name is Lenia Charity Kevin. Hello, my name is Lenia Charity Kevin. I'm a third-year student at Makerere University Business School, pursuing a bachelor's degree in procurement and supply chain management. I'm a former Vice Guild President in Makerere University Business School and a Guild candidate too. And equally, I'm a team leader or an executive director at Upright Inspired Youth Foundation and headed the program or the project of Doing It for Her. So that is a brief about me. I'm a speaker. I love motivating young women. I'm a girl child activist. Yes. Taking that question as being unique because I believe that every woman or every girl is unique in their own way. It's just about realizing your potential and getting self-awareness. So I would say I really ordinarily am not unique, but I believe I hurried to recognize my potential. And I believe that my potential is in leadership. My potential is in service, and following that path. That is exactly what made me unique from others, because I got the opportunity and I gave myself time to realize exactly who I was from the beginning. How did I discover myself? On multiple occasions, I found myself getting involved in leadership activities, even when I wasn't given the role, even when I wasn't obliged to do a particular activity. At some point, I always found myself getting involved. It doesn't matter whether it was volunteer work, it doesn't matter whether it was charity work. In most cases, I just found myself getting involved in one or two activities that required at most characteristics of a good leader. that required utmost qualities of a leader. So I just found myself getting involved in these particular activities. My purpose is I love seeing self-reliant youth. I love seeing uneducated youth. I love seeing an independent youth, a youth who is engaged in different activities, a youth who can stand up and do something for themselves, a youth who is ready to get inspired by other people and start up something. In the country where we live in nowadays, it is not a secret that unemployment is all over the place for most of the youth in Uganda. But if it is our responsibility, if we take it upon ourselves to make sure that we encourage ourselves, to make sure that we inspire one another to do something. It doesn't matter whether it's entrepreneurship, it's in business, it's in leadership, it's in health, so long as this particular youth is able to come up and inspire others, and not only inspiring others but doing something for themselves and doing something also for the community. That is why you see we as doing it for her made sure that one of our objectives is economic empowerment for the young women and for the girls, so that they're able to do something for themselves at the end of that day. Initially, we were a standing initiative as doing it for her, but now doing it for her has become, I would say, a sub-project to Upright Inspired Youth Foundation. Right now, if you're to check, we are now Upright Inspired Youth Foundation, and doing it for her is under Upright Inspired Youth Foundation. So doing it for her is a girl child-led initiative. We are here we emphasize, actually we focus on economic empowerment among the girl child. We focus on sexual reproductive health rights and menstrual health management among the girl child. We focus on leadership and governance. We focus on climate change. So that is our base. So if you're to say doing it for her is basically economic empowerment among women and menstrual health management among the girl child. So in broad, that's what we do. I might be diverted a bit into politics, but the lady I love so much, she's called Ann Juko. Ann Juko is the executive director of Stanbic Bank. She inspires me a lot. She might not be in the field. She might not be in the field of exactly what I do, but I love her entrepreneurial skills. I love her business management skills. I love her articulation skills. So I normally look up to Anne so much, especially when I'm out there all over the place. And someone else is Michelle Obama. I love Michelle so much. I mean, she's inspirational to most of the women all over the world, and I'm no exception. She equally inspires me so much in everything that she does, and she's always been doing from the beginning. Okay, first of all, community service and anything to do with charity. These are things about passion, because you're to listen to most people. They are either passionate about giving back to the society, or they realized a problem in society and they felt that in one way or the other they could solve this. So to me, charity and community service has always been about passion. And I will say the same thing about leadership. I mean, nothing differs from the other. To me, leadership is equally passion, because it is doing what I love. It is doing what inspires me on a daily. Something that is easy for me to do is actually to lead, and being able to work properly with the people that I equally lead. If they usually say that people's backgrounds actually add a lot to either their career or what they pursue or what they follow, at some point it is true, it depends on that, because I grew up in a society where either I didn't grow up from a very, very good society. I grew up in a society where I would see girls lack a lot. Maybe they don't have the necessary, for example, sanitary towels to take care of themselves. I grew up in a society where I saw gender-based violence take place each and every time. I grew up in a society where there are all sorts of things whereby you're like, you know what, I think there needs to be a change. We need to come up and maybe try to help a group of these women. We need to come up and try to help a group of these girls. That is why you saw I grew up with the intent. I became very deliberate about trying to improve the lives of vulnerable women and adolescent girls, because I grew up in a society where I saw most of these women either being tortured or either they are vulnerable to the extent that they lack certain necessities that they cannot provide for themselves, of which maybe if somebody came up and economically empowered them, they would either way try to sort out these things by themselves. From the very first time we started doing it for her, that is 2 years ago, I remember the very first time we had our outreach. I mean, every time you see that you've impacted lives, you see the joy and the happiness in the lives of these girls, you know. So when we were with these girls, we talked to them. From talking to them, we encouraged them, we taught them how to make these sanitary towels, we provided it for them, and you would see that joy, you would see the livelihood in them, and that feeling of creating an impact in someone's life is a reason for me to keep going. It's a reason for me to say, you know what, I can't stop here. It is still too early for me to even stop. So that joy, whenever you see them, is very excited and happy, and I think of it all the time. It's a reason for me to keep helping out and to keep impacting. The leadership space, politics, is quite engaging.
I didn't know her. She approached me, said hi to me, and a very tiny girl like this told me she's standing for youth president. I said, wait a minute. I love her confidence. I was just chilling with my little nephews, and she approached me and talked to me. When I got a call today and they told me there's a mood skill, I said, let's do it. Let's do it.
To me, what I'll never forget is during my campaigns for guild presidency, seeing the masses of people excited, having your t-shirts on, people believing in you, and they're like, yes, go charity. You know, it doesn't matter whether the outcomes were not as we expected, but the mere fact that over 1,500 people were able to choose you as their leader, I mean, to me that counts a lot. To me that was incredible. To me that is something that I will keep in mind long lasting. Well, for the young girls, the time is now. For the young girls, the time is now. It's our time. It's our time to take over these spaces. It's our time to be presidents, to be prime ministers, to be CEOs of big companies. It's our time. These men have had enough of these privileges. I mean, so it is time for the ladies to come and take over. It doesn't matter whether very few people believe in your potential or very few people believe in your capability, but it matters on your end. It is a responsibility on your end to show what you're capable of bringing to table, to show your potential, to show your capacity, to show your capability as a girl child, because at the end of the day, people are going to believe in you. We have reached a time where actually people have started believing in women leadership. People have started letting women take up spaces without giving them so much hard time. People have given them a chance to compete. So now you equally almost have the same space of competition with any other person out there. So the faster you do it, the better. When you start now, 3 years to come, 5 years to come, 4 years to come, it will be a different story to tell. 5 givings. I will say that considering myself. Number 1 is prayer. I think to me that is the very first. I remember there's a time Miriam Matembe came to us and she told us that when a woman prays, God listens. When a man prays, God hears. I don't know how true that is, but you know the difference between listening and hearing. Listening, someone answers. When it's hearing, it passes from here to the other side. So a woman's prayers are quite stronger. I think the men will agree with me at some point. So women need to pray so much. And besides praying, you need to know who you are. When I mean knowing who you are, you need to know your limits. Know that there are certain things I can do and there are certain things I can't do. For the things that you can't do, always learn to ask for help, because we need to keep learning. You need the knowledge, you need the skills, so always ask for help every time you're stuck, and do not refuse to keep learning. And thirdly, so long as you stay focused, we get carried away by so many things. But then if you accept to keep learning, if you keep up with prayer, if you keep focused, and by keeping focused, you don't just keep focused like that, you're focused at something. That means you're having a particular goal for yourself. You are having a particular dream for yourself. You're having a vision as a person for yourself. So you equally need to have visions for yourself, and you equally need to stay focused. And one more thing is not to give up on yourself. We live in a society where people have fallen quite very many times, but you find that they always get up. So, and we need to accept the fact that there is no soft spot for anything. You're always going to find those hardships, those obstacles are always going to be there. Those hard stones, the roughness of the road is always going to be there, but you need to keep going to be able to achieve that particular vision and that dream that you have for yourself. Yes.
So live